From Tampa Bay streaming news leader, this is ABC Action News.
I'm Dee O'Reilly. It's going to be a cooler afternoon today. Jason Adams will have your full forecast coming up. But first, though, encouraging news. The U.S. economy is strengthening and recovering from last year's pandemic lockdowns. The Labor Department's March jobs report shows U.S. economies added 916,000 jobs last month. That's nearly double the gains made in February. The unemployment rate dropped 0.2% to 6%. Despite the improving numbers, though, we've still lost 8 million jobs during the pandemic. More good news now, this time on the leak at the old Piney Point phosphate mine in Manatee County. That leak seems to have stopped, according to a new notice filed with the Department of Environmental Protection in the state of Florida. Experts were worried that it could lead to a collapse of gypsum stacks. Those are massive lagoons holding hundreds of millions of gallons of contaminated water. Earlier this week, an emergency order from the DEP allowed nearly 30 million gallons of water to be released into Tampa Bay, hoping that it would stabilize things and avoid a bigger uncontrolled release.
That uncontrolled release is, puts a pretty significant danger to environmental and public health safety around the facility. Roadways, there's a number of adjacent warehouse facilities, people working in them, some local residential areas to the south.
Piney Point has dumped nearly 30 millions of gallons of water into the bay so far. Well, this morning we're hearing from community activists fighting to end the recent gun violence in St. Pete. 2 people died in separate shootings Tuesday, including a 21-year-old woman who was killed while holding her baby. One activist, Corey Givens Jr., says he's been trying to get a sense of what it's going to take to make South St. Pete safer. He's the president of the St. Pete chapter of the Poor People's Campaign. It gives a voice to low-income members of our community. And the number one complaint he tells us he hears, not enough job opportunities. And he says changing that could keep young people from turning to crime.
We have some programs in our community, but again, it's about outreach. We need to put the word out there because our people perish from a lack of knowledge.
St. Pete Works is trying to help as well. It collaborates with other organizations to help people find jobs, further their education, even help with child care. If you or someone you know needs help, we've posted a link in the article in the news link section of our website, abcactionnews.com. Okay, bundle up. It's cold out there. Here's Jason Adams now with a look at your Friday forecast.
And yes, we will see a warm up, but it's still going to be on the cool side as temperatures stay well below the average high, which is into the upper 70s and low 80s. And compared to the 90-degree temperatures we've come accustomed to over the last few weeks, this certainly is definitely chilly. Upper 60s, low 70s, that's it today. We will add a couple of degrees to these numbers heading into your Saturday. Around 70 this afternoon in Tampa, 72 in Sarasota, 69 in Lakeland, 68 in Brooksville. Saturday's highs more likely low to mid 70s. And then as we get into Easter Sunday, we'll see those temperatures rebounding back up to around that average into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great Good Friday. And you can now get news 24 hours a day on our free streaming news channel. Just download the ABC Action News app on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV.